Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a lovely weekend, relaxing, getting out and about, enjoying yourselves, doing hobbies, seeing family, whatever. It's great to have the longer days, isn't it? And the weather has been reasonable here in the UK, so that's been quite nice as well to just enjoy being out and about, seeing people doing normal things again. I wanted to get on and talk about my purchases from Pat Mcgrath Labs. I think I showed you the first Bridgerton palette, and I also bought two highlighters from the first collection. It took so long to get here that the second collection was out, and I thought long, well, not that long and not that hard, and ended up buying the second palette as well as two more lipsticks. I haven't even watched the second series of Bridgerton, although I gather people who enjoyed the first one enjoyed the second one, so no dropping in standards there, and I've got it on Netflix when I've got some time to catch up. I did enjoy the first series. There was a lot less trauma getting this second Bridgerton palette. None of the problems that I've had with the delivery from the Pat Mcgrath website, so that was good to know. So let's have a look at number two. It's exactly the same kind of format as number one, so you know the drill. It's a sort of cardboardy palette, very kind of pretty, very vintage, meant to reflect the Regency period. I'm not sure it does. It's more kind of 1950s kitsch to me, but there we go. These are American versions of British history, let's not forget. But done in this kind of slightly tacky cardboard, which does make it reasonably lightweight. I know a lot of people were disappointed, particularly Pat Mcgrath regulars, because her packaging is usually more substantial. And I think there's definitely a feeling that if this had been done in like a kind of metal a casing, it would be a nice kind of a nicer souvenir item, and particularly for the blush connection, which comes in a kind of round cardboard vanity, almost reminding me of how you used to get kind of talcum powder dusting pots back in the day. She did that for the blush collection. I didn't get that. I really didn't like the look of it, but I know a lot of people were disappointed with the packaging, if not the product. Anyway, I'm okay with the packaging. I'm not going to be displaying it on my dressing table. Not that I have a dressing table. Not going to be displaying it. Here is the inside. Let's just look at it the right way up. So you can see straight away it is not that dissimilar to the previous one. Let's show them side by side. So we've got these. Sorry, my screen is just not big enough. The thing that drew me to get the second one was this gold shade down here, although the shade above, the copper, is very pretty too. The two red shades are almost identical looking, and then you've got another kind of silvery blue, which I liked in the original, and then a lighter shade. Let's have a little swatch, shall we, of... It's quite awkward on this viewfinder. This very smooth, very bright gold bronze, almost foil, I would call that. It looks as if they're a little Well, no, I was going to say it looks as if there's little pieces of glitter. I don't think there are. It's very pretty. I don't know if it's very practical for particularly an older eyelid. Look at me with ink on my hands. I've been working this morning. Then the gold. Gosh, that is smooth. I don't really want to rub the bee off, but it's coming off already. Wow. Again. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It's like a blackened gold, actually. It's definitely going to shift in colour on the eye and perhaps actually be more wearable than one might initially think. Then let's go down to this. Super soft, honestly. Ooh, wow. Very pretty. I'd call that a real silvery aqua shade. So all of those quite partyish glittery, really. I mean, how often am I going to wear these shades? I do think you could do some pretty combinations with those three. And then we've also got, they all feel so soft and buttery. That's a very pretty, I'm just going to take my watch off. So we've got less interference there. That could be an almost one and done peachy shade for summer. And then the two mattes are these two, far less usable to me. They don't even feel anything like the same. That's a blush, isn't it? I mean, really, you're not going to wear that on the eyes. I'm not going to wear it on the eyes. This one feels better. Oh, it swatches very nicely, actually. That one up there feels a bit dry. Yeah, nothing like the quality. That's interesting, isn't it? Of all the other shades, and nothing like that one down there if you're just looking at the mattes. So interesting. How does that square with this one? Well, we know we haven't got the gold. The equivalent of the blue, I guess, is this one here. It's a more kind of ethereal, silvery, true blue, really, rather than aqua or turquoise. There's a definite kind of green shift in this one. This is definitely, it shifts kind of purple, pink, blue. It's a really pretty shade. I haven't actually used it yet. And then I suppose the equivalent of the peach is down here. I don't know if you can even see that. It's not as shimmery, but it's a very similar tone, actually. So not that different. Then, well, we haven't got a gold. It's as simple as that. We've got these two reds. We've got this deep one. So this is definitely the equivalent of this one up here. And you can see it's very similar. It's slightly more blue. Again, nice formula. And then two reds. This one, again, feeling a bit dry. That's the prettiest. But to me, these are blush colours. There's no way they're going on the eye for me. And then this one, another beautiful, beautiful foil. Not really the equivalent of this in terms of the palette, but nothing like it. Really gorgeous. So in terms of the reds, which are definitely not my favourite part of this collection, there's obviously a lot of common ground between the two palettes. And I mean, I think the reds are pretty in the palette to look at, and they've got the bee and the lady embossed, so it's very much part of the theme. But in terms of how I would use them, to me they're blush colours, and yeah, have to see if I can get my small blush brush into those pans and use them that way. I'm not particularly confident about it, but I do love these colours. I mean, that gold is just fabulous. I love this aqua, and I love these kind of bronzy foils. How much I'll use them, I don't know. I haven't used them at all yet, and let's face it, I've had this one for several months. Anyway, there we go. We collectors, what can we do? I know people have been disappointed with the lipsticks as well. I'm not, to be honest. I have used these. Packaging to me is really pretty. People have said it's really cheap, and it's smaller than her usual lipsticks. Not by much, but appreciable. So this one I bought. I don't think it is part of the Bridgerton collection. This is Divine Romance 651, which I bought with the first one, and is a matte, as you can see, barely worn. Love the packaging, which does feel quite substantial. These definitely feel more plasticky, but I'm okay with that. What are these called? You can see the Netflix sponsoring here. This is Veiled Rose, and I think this is a corally one, Venusian Peach. So I couldn't choose between these, bought both of them. Here's the peach one. So you can immediately see nice satin, coral satin, very pretty. It's pretty on. And this one's more pinky. Very pretty, very feminine. On me, that's kind of my lips, but better. They're comfortable, they're easy to wear, and I think they're pretty packaging, although I appreciate, perhaps not up to the standard of the usual packaging. So those were my purchases. As I say, I didn't get the blush. I haven't got any blushes officially from Pat Mcgrath, although I'm going to try and use those eyeshadows as blushes. So I can't even, talk about Pat Mcgrath blushes in general. It's all been the eyeshadows, which the formulas are just so interesting, and they're such great effects. How wearable for those of us who have more kind of conservative looks they are. I don't know, but I mean, if I were young again and really kind of experimenting with my makeup, I think it's a wonderful range. And these were pretty souvenirs from the Bridgerton series, so I'm happy I got them. I think they're still around if you're interested, as are the highlighters, which are very pretty as well. So there we go. I can put these away in my drawer now that I've shown them to you. And I hope you continue to have a good weekend. Until next time, bye for now.